Girls feel like crap and then they'll say, oh, I'm so done with men, I hate boys.
Hey, welcome back to another episode of Pillow Talk. I'm Leanna.
And I'm Grace. And today we have a psychologist, a registered psychologist. Hi, Serena.
Hi.
So tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm really busy
Okay, it's a nice start.
and I need a coffee right now or I'm just gonna fall asleep.
Coffee, please.
Get her coffee.
You're from the Mind?
Yeah, I'm a consultant there, so I go there on appointment basis whenever there are clients who request for me. I tend to take couples and family cases because that's my favorite kind of cases, but I also see a lot of individuals dealing with work stress, relationship issues, parenting issues.
And you've been practicing for...
About almost 9-10 years now.
Wow,
How has it
okay,
been?
that's long.
Generally, I find that I love to help people in this very practical way.
So a viewer sent in to us this question.
Okay.
She was in a relationship for 2 years, but recently broke up with her boyfriend.
Okay.
And then she met a guy that she started to like, but she's worried that it's too soon for her to start dating again.
Okay.
Some people,
Yep.
they don't stop. They continuously get into a relationship.
Yep.
But then there are some people like, no, you shouldn't. Like, if you stop, then you'll like dry out.
So you don't want to dry out, so when is the right time?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. I would say it really depends on how serious that relationship was, especially if that person was in a relationship for 2 years. Time is not always a measure of how closely bonded a couple was, right? So, and also the circumstances surrounding how the breakup happened. Like, was it a peaceful, amicable one, or was it very sudden? Generally, each individual, if they are comfortable with keeping in touch with one another, I mean, draw some boundaries as well, because you don't want to be in constant communication.
So how do you
In
draw
real
that
life.
boundary? Because if you've been in a relationship for like this person for so long, that person becomes a part
Part
of
of
you.
your life,
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's
Yeah.
hard. Like if it's a good kind of breakup,
Yep.
you cannot just let go of that person.
Yep. Because you're still friends,
Yes,
right, to begin with.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yes.
so it's not easy. So I think this differs from couple to couple. Some people can really remain friends and they're really okay with it. Yeah.
What about the bad breakup? How long do you think that will take to
That's really hard to say.
Like someone cheat on you or like
Right.
just
Okay.
do something horrible?
Cheating
Yeah.
is a whole episode. I'll have to say it's a whole lot of things to talk about. But let's talk about the bad breakup, like
Right.
very painful breakup. Essentially, breakup is grieving. You're losing somebody or something that was so precious to you, and you've lost that connection. I would say you take as long as you need. There's no recommended timeline.
Right.
really? Okay, there are some people like, okay, they say like, okay, the best way for you to get over a guy is to
To meet someone new.
to meet someone new.
Yeah.
Well, if it's so soon right after a breakup, or I guess sometimes these people have good intentions to want to cheer a person up. But if you do that to just get over someone without really addressing the emotional pain and all the sadness and all
Yeah.
that stuff, I think you're just distracting yourself.
Like, how do you know that you're ready, you're through with that relationship? Because sometimes we say, no, I can live without him now. And then sometimes in bed, like when you're lonely and
You
it's
start
dark,
thinking.
and then you start crying like, oh my god, like why am I alone?
Yeah. I mean, loneliness is real and it's so normal. I mean,
Yes.
you can even be in a relationship and still feel very lonely.
Lonely.
If
So
you're
the-
the wrong person.
Oof.
Yeah, or even in the right person, or even in marriages, people can feel alone sometimes.
Wait, how do you feel lonely with the right person?
If the person's not around, or the person is away for an extended period of time,
Long
or the-
distance.
long distance, or away for business trip, or
Or they're not
life
emotionally
circumstances.
available.
Yeah, so many reasons.
How do you know that you're truly over
Yes.
the relationship?
It depends on whether you're the one who initiated the breakup or you're the one that got dumped.
So I have experienced a relationship where we were constantly breaking up, and the relationship was going on for about a year, okay, a whole year. I was never sure
Yep.
whether it was really over or not, because when we break up, like there's something bound to happen again. How can we really tell that once it's done, it's done?
Well, I mean, in the couples work that I do, often I hear people use breaking up as threat. Or like, or
Ooh.
shall we end this,
Right.
as a threat. But they many times actually don't really
They
mean
don't
it.
really mean it.
They don't
want
really
the guy
mean
to
it.
chase them back.
Could be
The
the
whole
guy, could be the
chasing.
girl. I'll have to
Okay,
say
sorry.
guys do it too as well. It's whether when you brought it up each time, what did you really mean
Mean it or not?
Yeah.
How many times is like too many times? Like you're breaking
don't
up,
think- I
and
don't think
then
there's
you're
a
getting
number.
back together.
Oh, this is a really
There's a
tough one.
number,
Yeah, thank
yeah.
you. I
I don't
can't
think
say.
it's about number. It's more of whether you mean it or not, right?
I would say it's more about what's this about this pattern that you have to keep on doing this, like breaking up, get to back together. It's not so much the number per se, but why is it happening over and over and over?
Yeah.
That's what needs to be looked at.
Yeah,
and
okay.
then I would definitely recommend that couple please go for a couple session. To at least work it through, and then you can find out whether you're really suitable for one another or not.
Let's say you're done with the breakup. Is there a specific timeline of the healing process? What if we're not totally over? Because you start thinking and comparing the guy like
To
your
your
date.
ex.
You gotta ask yourself, how long do you think you would need to really heal? Right? 1 month, you can ask yourself that question. Is that really kind of fast for me, or is it too long for me? It's like forever.
Right.
Yeah, 1 month actually is really not a long time at all. At least a few months
few
and more.
Is that a sign that you're not over your ex?
Yeah. Right.
If you do it repeatedly, and especially if you put like expectations on the new partner to like,
Yeah.
To be
could you be more like this? Could you be less of that? Or like you start to find a whole lot of faults with the new guy.
Yeah. So what if you meet the guy and then go out and then you get good chemistry and then you're not healed, but you wanna
Get to know the person.
get to know the guy?
So why can't you get that from hanging out with girlfriends?
Different. Like you
Ah.
can't have sex with them.
So that's another need you're talking about.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
see.
like,
It's sexual
fulfill
desire.
their
Okay,
Right.
okay. So depending on a person's intention of why they're
Ah.
on an app like
Yeah.
Tinder, then it's
But usually they don't know. That's the thing. It's
Oh.
like a subconscious thing.
right. That's why talking to friends can sometimes reveal
What you
like
really want.
what you want or what you may be looking for.
Because if the guy shows some interest to you, okay, and you weren't even, say it's not even Tinder, it's just someone you meet,
Right.
someone
You're
you
not
already
you're
know.
not looking
You're
as
not
well.
looking, yeah. And then
Yep.
he just happens to be there, and you're interested.
Yep.
So if he's starting to show interest, should we be honest to the guy that, hey, actually, I just broke up?
I think it really depends on
Yeah.
like how much you know this person. You could like go on a casual date and you can just like suss
Hang
that
out.
person out. Exactly. And then from there it's like sometimes it's actually important to ask a question. Are you kind of like seeing somebody now, or are you looking? I know it feels a bit strange to ask these questions, but you can get a sense. And if the guy says, "No, not really. I just want to hang out and meet new people," then you know it's still quite casual.
Okay,
Okay.
yeah, so
Yeah.
we're not assuming that.
Not assuming
yeah.
exactly.
So we should not tell them that we just got out of a bad
No,
breakup.
no,
a
not that
different
you don't
relationship.
tell them. You can, but I think you got to also see the timing of when to say
When
it.
to say
But
it, yeah.
I'd recommend mentioning it sooner better than later.
So,
Not like purposely avoiding
yeah,
and
okay,
ignoring.
yeah.
But
Right.
if they ask you,
Just tell them.
Exactly.
What about like rebounds? How do we know that because we're lonely and things like that? How do we know it's just a rebound?
So just now we talked about healing. So if a person has not even given themselves space and time to kind of like grieve the loss of that relationship on their own, that's already not a good sign. Like jumping from one right next to the next person. Just now we already kind of mentioned it. Like you keep on comparing this present one to the old one. You talk about your ex
Ex.
a whole lot.
Are there any morning rituals that we can do? Like for me personally, I like to burn stuff or like cut and throw them out. Like the minute they say break up, I won't even keep them anymore. I know some of like my friends,
Yep.
like they keep boxes of like this box is this ex and that.
Wow.
Yeah, really. And there's boxes of it. I've seen it.
I'm gonna ask a Marie Kondo question. Does
Oh,
it
shoot.
spark joy
Ooh.
doing that? I mean,
What if it's
retaining.
more sentimental?
Yeah, they just say it's like sentimental value, and then for me it's like.
Sentimental for what though? Good
Yes.
memories?
Then sometimes they'll look at it, then maybe they'll cry or whatever.
Right. So if it's part of the grieving, the
Yeah.
you know, like healing process, that's totally fine. I mean, yeah.
Well,
does.
It
there was-
might end up becoming like baggages in her life, emotional, psychological baggages as well.
Ah.
There was a Friends episode
Oh, okay.
where Phoebe, Rachel, and Monica they
Uh-huh.
were having this ritual during Valentine's
yeah.
Day.
Uh-huh.
So they all took everything from their past relationships, put it in one box, and
Burn it, yeah. And yeah, so for some people
like
that
a
we
way
call it cathartic. So you really cathartic. So very
Cathartic.
strong emotional release, and
Right.
that can be very helpful because it's like I'm
Ah.
done.
It's like,
Yeah.
oof,
it's like
it's gone.
it's like a ritual like closure. You know, I want to
Right.
get rid of it. I want to get
It's
rid
your
of
own
evidence.
closure.
Yeah.
What are the other things that you would advise for people to do post breakup?
Does workout and like
Self-care.
meditation? and
Yes,
things-
yes,
does that actually
yes,
work?
yes, 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 yes. Basically, what happens after a breakup? Most people tend to feel
Sad.
sad, just devastated, just
Yeah.
down in the dumps, right? Their worst valley
State.
ever.
Yeah.
So what would we normally do when we're feeling sad? We would cheer ourselves up. Comfort food, we said just now, right?
Yeah.
Going out with friends, if we have energy, or just crying and crying and crying. Whatever that you need to do to kind of pick yourself up again, you try. But if let's say you've tried that for a month or 2 months and you don't find it helping,
Yeah.
then that's when I actually recommend to please go and get some professional help. Journeying through it with someone professional can really help you heal better.
So any advice like for people who are still doubting themselves whether they should move on or should they wait,
Based on all that I've shared.
take
Focus
time
on
to heal?
healing.
Exactly. And every person is different. So there's no like, by 1 month you
Period.
should have been over, by 2
Yeah.
months, by 6 months. No. Take as much time as you need because everyone has a different history. Go with that as a guide. When you're ready, then you're ready. I always believe the right person will wait for you until the timing is right. I'm a romantic that way.
Okay.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah.
I think most of us are too.
Yeah.
So the last question would be, how do you know when you're ready to fall in love again?
If you're wanting to fall in love for the sake of just dating, I think that can happen anytime. But falling in love is similar to infatuation, right? And infatuation is feelings that come and go. But if you're talking about wanting to fall in love for the purpose of a long-term relationship, then it's something you kind of got to be very mentally prepared that I will need to enter into this with a sense of commitment. Because in the long-term, healthy, thriving relationships, commitment is a huge ingredient. How do I know I'm ready? I'm willing to be vulnerable. I'm willing to be honest. I'm willing to be flexible. So I'm not just going to be hard in my ways, but also learning to accept the other person for who he or she is and changing and growing together and discovering each other. Yeah,
compromise,
exactly.
willing to give in. It's
Yes,
out
so
there.
that the message I have is basically relationships are hard work. They're not automatically easy and they're not like magical always.
Are everything answered for you?
Clear enough. We learned a lot today, so thank you so much, Serena, for
Most
coming.
welcome.
If you guys have any questions, you can comment down below. And who knows, maybe next week we'll feature your question.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next
Next
week.
Bye.
Bye.